Hello YouTube, back with the next My Little Pony review, and today I'm reviewing the Big Brother Ponies, as they were called in the TV show. I mean, that's kind of all we have to go on. I mean, I guess you could look it up online and probably find out what they were called as toys, but the toys and the TV show can have two completely different names here. As it would turn out, the Big Brother Ponies would actually have merchandise released. In fact, they were the only male ponies to be released as toys in the G1 franchise. Believe it or not, the Tails ponies, males, did not get released as toys, maybe because they weren't popular enough or whatever. But the only ones you'll find are custom made. So, in fact, I think even the male ponies even went beyond the usual ones that we managed to see, because there were a whole bunch of others I think that were never named on the show or even seen on the show. In fact, the Big Brother ponies only appear with Somnambula, and only partway through, as I recall, maybe even part 3 or even part 4. But it was a mess because we don't get to see how they interact with the females under normal conditions. We only have little hints as to who they are, given the way they're talking. I mean, one made sailing references, the other made kind of like rodeo references. We got one that's Tex, and Salty, I think, is the other one, but I don't remember all of them off the top of my head. There weren't a whole lot revealed. I think there were only 4 in total actually revealed on the show. And I guess they had a unique, property to tell them apart from the females. Actually, I think they had actually hair on the bottom of their hooves, and this is more evident on the toys, I think, than the TV show. But unfortunately, the only time we get to see them is when they're, kind of rescuing their partners, if you will, while they're looking old and decrepit thanks to Somnambula's magic stealing abilities. And of course it shows at least they care. They didn't find out that, that their partners were missing, and he said, oh, well, okay, let's just have fun in the backyard or whatever. We'll go have fun at Paradise Estate. They actually went and helped. And went to find out what was going on. They were actually the only ones that could actually help. And even then, they ended up having to deal with Somnambula, who basically got them grabbed them as well. Basically, I think they do eventually get to see them, but I don't think all of them actually got transformed. But it was definitely not a pretty sight for them to see. I'm sure. So obviously, the females made a big deal out of the fact that they were coming. So they obviously don't come very often. They probably only come like once a year, maybe even once every couple of years. I forgot what the occasion was, but they were coming. They managed to come in, but they were kind of too late to actually do much about it because they were not there to meet and greet. Because they actually had to go find where they were, only to get involved in the mess. And I think only one of them actually, one of the males actually did kind of sort of had to fight back against his urges to to cope with his desire being put right in front of him. But it does eventually work out. They do eventually get things back to normal, but we don't get to see a whole lot of them, so it's not much to review on. I mean, it's good they got merchandise. I mean, it means at least they were probably somewhat popular. It's kind of strange, though, when you can think about it, because they only appear once, yet they get more merchandise than some of the ponies that appear more than once throughout, including the other male ponies in My Little Pony Tales were appeared in at least a few episodes throughout the series. I'd probably say maybe half, I'd say probably around half, maybe a little less, maybe a little more, but they definitely had their moments. They were prominent throughout the show. They obviously, I'm guessing, just weren't popular enough. The show in general probably was not popular enough to get merchandise, although the females got the most merchandise because they were more prominent, I guess, throughout the show. And I think arguably most of the characters in G1 did not appear in the TV show. So it's kind of a shame when you kind of think about it. I mean, if there was a character you liked in the G1 show, they did get released as a toy, but the male ponies did. So I guess they were trying to make sure that despite what their screen time was, though I think, the toys came out first, so they may have had more plans to give the males more of a more screen time than what they ended up getting. But they kind of got the short end of the stick here. I mean, the males are actually, those are the only male ponies I recall are actually in the G1 TV show. So all the other males are not ponies. They are, in this case of Spike, is a dragon. You've got Grogar, who's a goat or a ram. You've got Mr. Moochek, who's sort of human, as Danny is also human. There are no male ponies except for the Big Brother ponies. And I think that's partly why the song ends up making a big deal out of them, because there aren't any other ones they get to see. This is someone obviously they know that maybe cousins, but we don't know. They were never actually really played. They never got to have a good 5 minutes, even 5 minutes, even 2 minutes of chat together, going over things that that probably would have revealed more about them. But I guess for what it's worth, I mean, you might find a character you like out of that list. If you like rodeos or sailing, you'll have at least a couple there to choose from. It's kind of too bad we don't get to see a lot more of them, and we only get to see their dialogue like that. They only use their dialogue for a very little bit until. I mean, Somnambula, I guess, reveals a little bit. She obviously knows what they're aware of, and probably is known for what they like for quite a while. She may have been kind of, sort of spying on them and seeing what they like and dislike, and then kind of played along with it. Or she can somehow read minds. It may have also been luck of the draw, but I don't think so. I don't think it would have been just. She happened to get things right on all accounts. She probably knew. She knew Tex enjoyed the rodeo, so set that up. I think, one of them enjoyed being on the railroad. I forget who it was. It may have been. Not sure. I know one of them involved the train. I know there's a bit of a struggle among that, but. Hey, you might enjoy that. You might enjoy all 4 of them. You might enjoy just a little change of pace. And the fact that there are actual male ponies that actually get some screen time and actually play a vital role in the show. Unfortunately, they don't play much of a role beyond that. So I think you have to put up with. You'll probably end up having to watch, the whole story to kind of understand what's going on. If you just watch it for just that one scene, you're not going to get the full picture. So they're alright. I wouldn't say they're my favorite. Not really anything. They don't have any interests that I enjoy, but I'm sure some of you may enjoy them. I'm sure they're probably popular to an extent among fans of the either the toys or the TV show or both. So yeah, that's my review on the Big Brother ponies from the G1 TV show. Thanks for watching.